If you've been paying any attention to the recent Roblox controversy involving the popular YouTuber Schlep, you'll have heard he's been banned for his work in catching PDFs on the platform. Schlep originally got his start making documentary-style content about Roblox drama and controversies, focusing mostly on exposing inappropriate content on the platform. On the 2nd of December 2023, Schlep began the To Catch a Robloxian series, which would quickly become the channel's new focus. In these videos, Schlep and a few of his friends would lure out PDFs and then hand over the incriminating data to the police so that they could be removed from the platform and prosecuted for their attempted crime. This strategy led to 6 arrests across, with all being charged except for 1. This video will detail each of his major arrests along with some of the ones he exposed in his earlier videos. Amori Hunt, Roblox name Oni_Chan11, is the first PDF that Schlep & Co. found that led to an arrest. The video begins with an explanation of condo games, infamous for the prevalence of inappropriate roleplaying and PDF activity. Through these circles, Schlep and his group meet Amori and use one of their decoy accounts to gain further information from him. Among the multitude of inappropriate comments that Amori messaged to the presumably underage decoy, he was around 21 at the time for reference. He had also sent the decoy an adult image to someone he believed was a young person. This eventually led to a call between the decoy and Amory, where he also showed a great passion for the game he was making called Undertale Endless. There unfortunately isn't much information about the game itself still around on the internet, but he seemed to have a large amount of respect for the team working with him and was hoping to be able to pay them for their work if and when his game was successful. It's unsettling that someone can be so outwardly charismatic and passionate but still be actively seeking out young people. To help with ensnaring Amori, Schlep contacted Alex Rosen, another prolific PDF hunter, to help out. Alex Rosen himself has numerous successful convictions, so Schlep knew this case would be in good hands. Soon enough, the group confronts Amori in a Discord call, talking to him about how what he was doing was wrong, which he surprisingly agreed to. After gaining a bit more of his trust with a lighthearted discussion about Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A, John Roblox, a popular YouTuber with 1.4 million subscribers who was assisting, suddenly offered to keep it under wraps if he beat him in a 1 versus 1 on the Roblox game Rivals. After only a short bit of time, the group had seemingly managed to gain his trust. Schlep then started putting on the pressure, working to find out his address and where he lived. Schlep started by pressuring him to add his dev team to explain to them what he did, then moving to asking for his county on the pretense that he was going to help him find support. After 45 minutes of pressuring him, he eventually obtained Amori's home address, finding out that he lied about living in Georgia, instead being a resident of Florida. In order to find a way to get Amori to meet with Alex Rosen, who just happened to be passing through the area at the time, Schlep lied and told Amori that there was a traveling group of people who could help people like him. They arranged a meeting in a nearby park where he lived early the next morning. Rosen met up with him and they began discussing, learning about how Amory got involved with the Roblox condo community around the age of 16. Eventually, he begins talking about the Telegram groups he found himself a part of and how he is an active member and participant in these groups, sharing and receiving illicit pictures of young people and other horrible stuff. He even admits to possessing 40 illicit images of just one girl. Soon after, the police arrive and quickly take him away. Schlep and his team send over all of their chat logs, recorded calls, and other information to the police to help seal the arrest. He was arrested and charged with 3 felony counts related to the possession of these illicit pictures on the 9th of September 2024. The second PDF that Schlep & Co. caught was done only a month later in October of 2024. Meet InTernalDJ, real name Donald Boomgarn Jr., but we'll just be calling him Don. Don made contact with Schlep's decoy Lily while in a Roblox condo game, and quickly he began to target Lily, who he assumed was, let's say, not old enough. For reference, Don was 25, 9 years older than her at the time of his arrest. Don followed a very standard procedure, masking his weird messages under the guise of being a friend. He would ask weird questions like Lily's opinion on young people dating, which you probably shouldn't be asking anyone, let alone a young girl. He even discussed a few encounters he had with young relationships, incrementally increasing the inappropriateness of the conversation topics to try to normalize it as he goes, which is unfortunately a very common strategy used by PDFs. He asks the decoy for pictures, sends his own, and even adds his own creepy affectionate messages in response. When the decoy Lily joins a Discord call alongside Dawn, you can see a very revealing moment, one that cements his guilt. During the call, Dawn tells Lily that he doesn't want to go to prison, but still continues to pursue the young relationship, trying to come up with ways to keep the relationship quiet. A simple solution would be to not pursue young people, but what do I know? The fact that he wants to continue pursuing the relationship but is fearful of going to prison really just shows that he knows what he's doing is wrong. This situation rapidly grew a lot more disturbing than the last PDF that Schlep caught, with Dawn expressing a great deal of interest in meeting with Lily in real life after only a few days of knowing each other at most. Even worse, he very quickly began talking about how they should have a bit of fun. Gross. Later on, he even sends her NSFW content, talks about wanting to have kids with her, and other extremely bad content I can't go into detail with here. Moving on, Schlep eventually arranged a meeting where Dawn had planned to pick up Lily from a nearby park before taking her to some nearby springs and staying with her for the whole night before dropping her off at home. They compile the documents and send off Alex Rosen to confront Dawn at the park where he was to meet the decoy. He was spotted there sitting in his dad's car and waiting, and Alex Rosen confronted him, discussing with him while the police were en route. Alex managed to get Dawn to admit that he was doing similar things on other game platforms like VR chat. After some more discussing and some crying on the part of Dawn, he was taken away by the police and arrested on October 16th of 2024. Despite this arrest, Roblox refused to terminate the account until nearly a full week had passed. 4 whole days. Something that isn't super uncommon for Roblox if you haven't seen the news as of late. CandyLeanRoblox, real name Keon, and an unknown last name is probably the most interesting of the bunch. Keon was a prolific exploit creator and a very frequent member of Roblox condo groups. A running theme among these PDFs, Keon was a cheat developer in the Script City Roblox community on Discord, having made a large amount of cheats in his time there. With just a few simple messages, Keon quickly showed his true colors without much of a fight, sending inappropriate messages almost immediately, asking inappropriate questions, and very quickly normalizing the age gap between them. He didn't have the subtlety of some of the previous people we covered. Because of this lack of subtlety, Schlep and company were very quickly able to gather information about him, including his Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Cash App, and most worryingly Telegram. In the hands of the kind of people we're talking about, Telegram is a PDF's haven. I'm sure you can guess what kind of images are shared around there. Schlep cross-referenced his YouTube videos with his voice and calls to ensure he had the right guy, 22-year-old Keon. With some short discussions with the decoy, Alice Schlep quickly learned that Keon lived in Hawaii, a far out location from the previous areas that they had gone to, which were both in the continental US. Despite this, Gideon had no issues with going there to confront him in person. The fact that Keon had sent ding-ding images to someone he knew was not the correct age only gave Gideon more reason to catch a flight to sunny Hawaii. On the day that they had planned the meeting at a public park, as per usual for the group, Gideon confronted Keon where he began to try to downplay his actions, simultaneously claiming that meeting up with someone he knew to be a young female was just a joke, and also claiming that the messages and pictures were fake. He even said that the ding-ding images he sent to the decoy were actually made with AI. Yeah, right, buddy. The whole exchange prior to the police watching is embarrassing to watch, not having the decency to admit to his wrongful actions like the previous PDFs had when they were caught. He was arrested on January 16th of 2025 with not much more information regarding his prosecution being available as of now. In a video posted by Schlep on Twitter in April, he revealed that Keon had admitted to seeing not so good videos of people with single-digit ages and had received from over 500 young people. Yikes. To make this even worse, Roblox had flat out refused to terminate the account despite receiving the exact same files as the prosecutors were using in the legal case. They used the excuse that the police had to contact them first regarding it despite the proof being available to them. This continues the Roblox pattern of inaction against PDFs on their platform. Incompetence is one thing, but this is just complicit now. Roblox would happily allow someone who developed cheats and an active PDF on their platform, even with evidence being handed to them. Honestly, disgusting. Vanilla, real name Matthew Thomas, is another PDF that follows the pattern of being a frequent member of Roblox condo communities on Discord. After the decoy, Cloud joined the server, they were messaged by Matthew. After some innocuous conversation, Matthew begins to use similar tactics to Dawn, beginning with pretending to just be friends, but very quickly pivots to inappropriate topics, especially after learning that Cloud the decoy was, let's say, an iPhone 12. For reference, he had an iPhone 20 at the time. Through his messages, he subtly suggests that he's looking for a younger female, sends bad pictures and messages, and works to normalize this pattern of behavior between himself and the decoy. He was also very quick to ask to meet in real life at the Lynnhaven Mall and had happily shared his phone number in order to have easier messaging. After some more back and forth between Matthew and the decoy, they eventually settled on meeting at a library in Parksley, Virginia, after the decoy told Matthew that they would have the house to themselves while house sitting for their grandma. Schlep and Gideon booked a flight and went to confront the PDF in person. They met at the library and confronted him, and he was surprisingly honest about the subject despite it obviously being mortifying for him to have been caught. He admits he knew it was wrong, and admits that he likely would have still done bad things with what he thought was a female in the 8th grade. Again, gross, but at least he's honest. Still not justifiable though. When he's pressed further by Gideon, he admits that he has collected bad photos of young people he's been sent, and that he's done similar things before. His playtime on Roblox, despite being mostly tycoon games, still consisted of a lot of condo games. He does make it clear that he's aware that these kinds of games commonly host younger people in them. The discussion continues as the police arrive, and he is arrested arrested, with Schlep being subpoenaed to testify against him. After the ordeal was over, they messaged people who they had connected to Matthew, learning that he lied about the age of a girl during the conversation, and also learning that he was running a group chat of young females on Discord. After discussing individually with some of them, Schlep learned that he had made inappropriate comments towards some of them, though strangely the girl who he lied about had said that he made no such comments towards her specifically, despite them having matching bios on Roblox. As per usual by now, Roblox continues to make it difficult and nearly impossible to properly report PDFs on the platform, even with a mountain of evidence that they are. Roblox routinely ignores Schlep's proof until the video goes live, and millions of people are expecting the account to get banned. OfficialTacoHD, also known as Burrito, is our 5th on the list. His name is Manuel Gonzalez, but this is something we'll learn much later. The decoy, named Sophie this time around, almost immediately gets messaged by Manuel almost immediately upon joining a Roblox condo Discord server. In this case, when asked for his name, he gave a fake one, Marco, but strangely he gave his phone number freely. Schlep and Kostas were quickly able to find his LinkedIn with the phone number and prove that it was an alias and gather some crucial information about him. After adding the decoy as a friend to his main account, the topic very quickly turned inappropriate, and within 35 messages of meeting the decoy, he already wanted to set up a real-world meeting. I know you're a PDF, but have some restraint, man. An easy-to-miss detail does show itself in the short 35 initial messages between Sophie and Manuel, where he says that he lost his V-Bucks gift card young, which could be a silent admission that he was abused in the past as well. This is a very important detail we'll come back to. When the team calls his phone with the decoy's voice changer, he seemed relieved that Sophie wasn't an undercover cop, even expressing his worries about officers being all around him. Over the ensuing days, Manuel's conversation grew more inappropriate and more creepy. He would talk about plans he had for Sophie in detail, admit that he enjoyed the power dynamic, and plan how meeting in real life would work. As well as this, he had even started targeting more of the decoys that Schlep and his team had placed in that server, messaging multiple at a time. It's very obvious if it wasn't already that he was actively targeting young people on these Discord servers. After more frankly disturbing conversation about his fascination with true crime, and with the decoy being their little secret, they eventually settled on meeting somewhere an hour outside of Fresno, California. And for reference, he's 21, trying to meet with an iPhone 13. From what they've learned from other PDF catchers, the Fresno PD doesn't seem to take PDFs very seriously. Sending Manuel an Uber gift card that the decoy supposedly got as a gift, they met with him at a nearby park. After some brief hesitation from both parties, they sat down and Gideon had a conversation with him. He seemed remorseful and admitted his intentions were as he said in the chat messages. The PDF even admitted to bringing a Benjamin with him, fully intending on letting Sophie the decoy try it if she wanted to. That's wrong on a lot of levels. The conversation between Gideon and Manuel concludes as the local police department of Hanford, California comes and arrests him. Manuel's story is a depressingly common one. Earlier on we mentioned that he was very likely by a PDF when he was young, which is likely what caused this whole string of events to occur. It's a sick cycle of violence, and it doesn't excuse his actions, but perspective is important. And of course Roblox did nothing despite being given ample evidence, and only banned his account after the video and public pressure forced them into it. Dark. As I'm sure you've pieced together by now, Roblox support is nearly non-existent when it comes to their rampant PDF issue. That brings us to our final PDF of the video, who goes by the name Dark, real name Austin. It starts as it usually does, with the perpetrator messaging the decoy soon after they join a Roblox Discord server. This server, however, was particularly special compared to the previous ones, being apparently partnered with Roblox themselves. Austin messaged the decoy named Tiffany and immediately began to compliment their avatar. Shortly after revealing that he was 27, and after being told that Tiffany was a young female, continued to pursue her, asking for pictures and showering her with compliments. This is a very common strategy called love bombing, showering someone in compliments, praise, and love to quickly build up a false sense of trust and to make the victim emotionally dependent on the love bomber. He almost immediately professes his love for the decoy after only a short exchange and sharing a picture of each other, even going so far as to ask Tiffany to be his girlfriend. Austin then suggests that they play Roblox together. Specifically, he wanted to roleplay. Even in the Discord messages, he starts roleplaying, sending messages like cuddles you, hugs you, and kisses you. You're a grown man acting like this on Discord and Roblox, bro. He then, predictably at this point, sends a bad picture of himself and asks if Tiffany would like to join a Discord call with him. Checking through his Roblox account badges and friends list, it was obvious the decoy wasn't his first attempt at something like this. Schlep identified some of the worst Roblox condo games among his badges. After passing on his Discord handle to some of his internet sleuth friends, Schlep had all the information one could need. His Facebook, family information, even his dog's name. For a PD, PDF, you have some terrible internet security. This time around, Schlep and his team didn't even need to set up a meeting. He did it for them. Austin planned on driving for 12 whole hours to meet up with Tiffany, who he knows is a young female. The plan was to meet at a gas station 3 hours away from Austin's house, where he would pick her up and take her back to his house, and then drop her off all the way back at where the decoy's supposed home was later on. When Schlep, Gideon, and another group that was helping them arrived at the gas station, Austin had gone quiet, which worried them that he had backed out. Soon enough though, he arrived and was customarily greeted by Gideon. When confronted, he denies, feigns being confused, and attempts to flee the scene. The group called the police while pursuing his car, and he was quickly stopped and arrested by the Macon County Police Department. He admitted on camera when pressed by Gideon that he did come to meet the supposed young female, and that the bad photo he sent was indeed his... yeah. Now, as I'm sure you expect, Roblox did nothing about this yet again, despite the evidence. It seems that Austin was bailed out awaiting trial and had come home, removing the decoy from his friends list, which proved that his account was still active. It's obvious that Roblox is prioritizing profit over young people's safety. This is proven by the whole legal ordeal that Roblox initiated. Instead of banning the PDFs off their platform, they sent a cease and desist to Schlep instead, marking this as his final arrest for now, and marking the beginning of his legal fight against Roblox to try and make the platform a safer place to be for everyone. If you like this video, you'll definitely like this video on screen. Comment below what Roblox topic you want to see covered next, and be sure to subscribe, or else, I don't know. Free Schlep, and see you soon.